Welcome to ESCAP's induction modules on gender equality. Today we will be exploring the topic Time Use Survey. In Asia and the Pacific, the time women spend in paid and unpaid care and domestic work is highest among all the world's regions. On average, women in Asia and the Pacific spend 11 hours a day on unpaid care and domestic work, 4.1 times the amount of time spent by men. A wide range of activities are included in unpaid care and domestic work, including both direct care, such as providing childcare or caring for the sick, elderly, or disabled, and indirect care, such as domestic tasks like cooking, cleaning, and collecting firewood and water. SDG 5 has highlighted unpaid care and domestic work as one of the persistent barriers to women's labour force participation. More time in unpaid work means fewer opportunities for paid employment, leisure time, and personal development. Recognising the critical importance of unpaid care work, SDG 5.4 calls for governments to allocate more resources to time use surveys to determine the various categories of unpaid work and provide disaggregated data to inform policy. In order to achieve SDG 5 Target 4 and recognise and value unpaid care and domestic work, it is vital to have data and information on unpaid care and domestic work. This is where time use surveys come in. These surveys provide information on the activities people perform on a given time period, generally a day or a week. They are the main statistical source to produce data on the unpaid and care work in households and can inform policies on caregiving services, international commitments, and enhance women's economic empowerment. The main objectives of time use surveys are 1. To generate estimates on the unpaid provision of services to the household and family members, with particular emphasis on increasing visibility of women's work and their contribution to society and the economy. 2. To offer estimates on gender gaps in time spent on the total workload, paid and unpaid work. And finally, to provide indicators on the quality of life in terms of time use patterns of people. The collection of time use data can take place through independent or multi-purpose time use surveys. Independent time use surveys refer to surveys conducted with the primary objective of capturing and analysing how individuals allocate their time across various activities throughout the day. These surveys are often independent in the sense that they are distinct and separate from other types of surveys, such as labour force surveys or household expenditure surveys. The focus of independent time use surveys is to provide detailed insights into how people spend their time, including activities related to work, leisure, household chores, and personal care. Multi-purpose time use surveys are comprehensive surveys that go beyond the singular focus of capturing time use patterns and activities. These surveys are designed to serve multiple purposes by incorporating a broad range of questions and modules, addressing various aspects of individual lives. While the primary goal remains to understand how people allocate their time, multi-purpose time use surveys integrate additional inquiries to gather information on diverse topics such as employment, education, or household expenditure. There are two different methods of data collection. The first are diary-based methods. Diary-based methods involve individuals recording their activities and how they allocate their time over a specified period. Participants are typically asked to maintain a diary or log documenting details about their daily activities at regular intervals, often in 15 or 30-minute increments. This method provides a detailed and granular account of how individuals spend their time throughout the day. The diary-based approach is considered a reliable way to collect first-hand real-time information about daily routines and time allocation. The recorded data offer insights into patterns, trends, and variations in time use across different demographic groups, and can be valuable for understanding societal dynamics, work-life balance, and gender roles. The diary-based method is often combined with other survey techniques to enhance the accuracy and reliability of the information collected. It is widely used in time use studies and research focused on understanding the intricate details of how individuals engage in different activities over the course of a day. Stylized retrospective questions in time use surveys involve participants recalling and reporting their activities and time use after a specific reference period, typically a day or a week. These questions are designed to capture a broader overview of individuals' time allocation without requiring a detailed real-time diary. Unlike the diary-based method, where respondents document their activities as they occur, stylized retrospective questions ask participants to remember and categorize how they spent their time in predefined blocks or categories. These questions often use a stylized format, presenting respondents with a list of common activities or categories to choose from. While stylized respective questions are less detailed than diary-based methods, they are more efficient and less burdensome for participants. This method is particularly useful when researchers seek to capture general trends and patterns in time use across a larger population, as it allows for the collection of data from a larger sample size compared to more time-intensive diary methods. However, it may introduce recall biases, as participants may not remember their activities accurately. The International Classification of Activities for Time Use Statistics, or ICATUS, was developed by the United Nations Statistics Division. ICATUS is a classification of all activities that the general population will spend time on during the day. Its purpose is to serve as a standard framework for time use statistics based on activities grouped in a meaningful way to facilitate international comparisons. Human activities in this classification are divided into 3 categories: employment, production of goods, and personal activities. The Harmonized European Time Use Surveys are national surveys conducted in European countries to quantify how much time people spend on various activities, including paid work, household chores and family care, personal care, voluntary work, social life, travel, and leisure. The main survey instruments are a household questionnaire, an individual questionnaire, and a time use diary, in which respondents are asked to record their daily activities in 10-minute time slots. Now let's take a look at time use surveys in Asia and the Pacific. Many countries in the region have conducted time use surveys to improve estimates of paid work, informal and subsistence work, to improve estimates of workforce and information on paid and unpaid work of men and women, and to collect reliable data on living standards. However, most of these have been small scale. There are only 6 countries in the region that have conducted national or large time use surveys using 24-hour time diaries. Of them, Bangladesh, China, and India have only done so with a pilot survey. There are numerous benefits of time use surveys. Firstly, they provide visibility to all types of work and shed light to the contribution of women to national economies and GDP growth. Second, the disaggregated data on unpaid care and domestic work supports evidence-based policy to promote policies that reflect the realities of the lives of women. Thirdly, time use surveys can inform several SDGs through our understanding of time poverty outside monetary value. It can also help understand the dropout of boys and girls from schools due to domestic and unpaid care work, and the limited access to quality infrastructure for energy, water and sanitation, and so on. Fourth, the data collected promotes policy dialogues towards a fair distribution of household and care-related tasks between men and women and care-related policies. Fifth, time use surveys not only serve to produce quality data, but can also bridge the data gap. They provide critical input to address prevailing gender inequalities and the value of unpaid care and domestic work. However, time use surveys also have their challenges. Time use surveys face significant challenges that contribute to hesitation among many countries in their adoption. Firstly, there is the lack of appreciation for the utility of time use data among statistical officers and policymakers in addressing socio-economic concerns. This hampers the prioritization of time use surveys as a valuable tool for understanding various aspects of daily life. Another obstacle is the insufficient capacity of statistical officers to collect, process, analyze, and effectively use the data generated by time use surveys. The scarcity of funds further compounds the problem, as the financial resources required for conducting comprehensive and accurate surveys are often not readily available. Additionally, the data collected through time use surveys can exhibit serious quality limitations, impacting the reliability and usefulness of the information for policy making. Finally, the absence of standardized and harmonized concept methods, including a global level activity classification for conducting the survey, also poses a challenge to achieving consistency and comparability in time use data across different regions and countries. In addition, time use surveys are not widely produced nor integrated into national statistical systems. Addressing these challenges is crucial for promoting the widespread adoption and successful implementation of time use surveys. It's important to accept that there are some limitations of time use surveys. For example, in regions with low literacy rates, the reliance of self-reporting through a 24-hour time diary becomes challenging when a significant portion of the population cannot read or write. Similarly, in remote areas where the use of timepieces or clocks is limited, detailed reporting of time use becomes constrained. Another limitation lies in the insufficient integration of time use surveys into national statistical systems, hindering its widespread implementation and compromising the comprehensiveness of time use data. Moreover, the lack of capacity building for both data producers and users further constrains the production and effective utilization of time use data, highlighting the need for investments in training and resources to enhance the quality and utility of time use information. Now let's conclude with some final remarks. It's important to remember that time use surveys are a matter of normative significance and evidence-based policy. Mainstreaming time use surveys within national statistical systems in Asia and the Pacific implies conducting time use regularly and periodically, using sound concepts, methods, and classifications, and providing quality data. Third, data should be used in a broader range of policy making to maximize their potential. And finally, it's important to remember that governments should not rely only on time use surveys to begin taking action addressing unpaid care work in the region. Many thanks. For more information, please visit www.asiapacificgender.org